everybody.
Friends.
Friday Love Fest.
On Saturday.
Right. Things happen. So
Life and stuff,
Life. Today we wanted to talk about, I'm sure like for months now, this meme has been kind of going around, various versions of this meme that basically says like, I match energy these days. Like I'm on whatever you want. So you decide how I'm going to act.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, the meme is
we're
gonna act, right? Trying to be funny. But essentially, you're giving, the statement is giving all of your power, responsibility to the other party. It
sounds really like catchy and sassy.
Right. I think it's meant to be sassy, like, go ahead, do something. Mm-hmm. And I'll follow your lead. You tell me how this conversation's gonna go.
Right.
But it's like super toxic and problematic in that
extremely.
How you're gonna give all your power to somebody like that?
Yeah.
And let them. But it sounds like you want to pop off, and so
it's very egoist.
Right. It's like no, I'm waiting for you to do it because I want to, but I won't. I'm not gonna initiate.
Right.
I'm gonna wait for you, and then when I do, I'll just blame you.
And there's two ways then that you're kind of like not taking responsibility, because on the one hand, it's like you already are in that energy.
Right.
Like you already want to do this.
Right.
But you're waiting for someone to give you that excuse.
Right.
And then also you're not taking responsibility, because when someone does something that you deem to be them giving you an excuse, you're like, oh, now I can't be responsible for how I respond.
I already told you.
Because I already posted the meme.
Right.
It's on Facebook. It's official.
It's official. You didn't see it. I can't help you.
Right. I match energy. So obviously, like that's how I'm going to respond. So it's like you're not taking responsibility in two ways when you do that.
Right. And it's a real misuse of the idea of matching energy, which I think has a place in the world and in relationships.
Yeah.
But
because it's very egoist.
Yeah, but it's like you're using it to be off the hook, basically.
Yeah.
To act however y'all are gonna act, and then be like, well, what my fuck's I already told you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I told you it was on you.
I told you it was on you. Yeah. And I think like for me, whenever I see that meme, what's so problematic about, I mean, the whole thing is problematic, but what's so problematic about it to me is like, I see so many people posting it, like, this is what it is. And it's very like, it's definitely not principled, but it's very like, like I'm right. Like people should respect that.
Yeah.
And
there's like a pride about it. Like they're proud of themselves for being in that space. Almost like I want to pop off, but I'm not going to, and I'm going to match your energy. And so then I was the bigger person until you did what you did, and then I had to match you. So what did you want from me?
Exactly. And that's so low vibrational.
Yeah.
That's so like I really, what I think, pride, I don't really like to talk about like pride, but the way I feel about it is what's high vibrational and what resonates with me spiritually in terms of like how I should behave is your energy does not affect my energy. Mm-hmm. What your actions don't affect my actions, and more importantly, they don't dictate my actions. What you do does not...
It's not personal to me.
Right, it's not personal to me, and I am so invested in keeping my energy calm and peaceful and positive that no matter what your energy is, the strength that I have is that I am going to stay in the same energy.
So I would even say, I mean, spiritually speaking, if that resonates with you, if that person's behavior feels like an excuse to match them, then they might be a match for you vibrationally, right? That might be the wavelength you are living on. Yeah. And so it might be a good place to start just kind of checking yourself. If that like resonates with you, think, why does that resonate with me? Where am I on this like, vibrational scale of emotion?
It's like a reality check. Like it's a signal from, you know, like the universe to like, this is actually what you're on.
Yeah.
So,
which would suggest like your driving force is your ego, right? And your ego is problematic. Our egos are problematic. They are tough guys. They're loud.
Right.
They don't listen. They're not coachable. They're not super loving. They're self-serving. They have a place in our experience, typically in survival mode.
Yeah.
But in everyday life, like where you want to sit vibrationally, they're detrimental. Your ego can be really detrimental.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if it's resonating with you, you got to check and be like, why doesn't it feel true to me?
Yeah, because that might be where you are. It's a good measure of where you are, because I really like that, because what I've noticed now is, since I no longer match energy, I don't even think that I'm like capable of doing certain things I used to do. Like, I don't have it in me to like get upset about certain things, to take things personally at times. Like sometimes I do, but in general, I don't have it in me to take things personally or to react a certain way to, you know, like, I don't know that I could really like scream at somebody or like cuss them out, and I used to.
Yeah, like, so as a coach, and even in my position in security, sometimes I manufacture anger or elevation because it's what the other person needs to understand how serious I am because of where they are mentally or in that moment, right?
Yeah.
So Coach Wynn, shout out Coach Wynn, what up? Love you. She would do that a lot in coaching. The team wouldn't be paying attention. She would try to like just coach and just inspire and connect, but they like we weren't listening or their players weren't connecting. And so then she would be like, fine, I'll go crazy. Because then you'll start listening. She didn't really feel crazy.
Right.
She didn't really feel angry, but she's like, this is how they're going to start to like hear me.
Yeah.
So she would go literally, I could tell you a story and I won't, but she went totally crazy in the halftime of one game. And we were playing terrible, and everybody looked around like, wow, Coach Wynn's crazy. Turns out, like, probably years later when we reflected on the story, she's like, I wasn't mad. You needed me to be fired up, and so I pretended.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, like, those examples, what that tells me is, like, yes, there are times strategically especially when it's very transactional, where you might lower your vibration or go to a different level.
Or even just appear, right? Like
appear to.
Take the behaviors on of that, even though you know you're not there.
Just to you know, complete the transaction. But in general, like in everyday life,
that's not how you want to
That's not how you want to behave.
You don't want to be so unstable in your vibration that you could get pulled up and down this slide of a scale of emotion, right?
Which means you don't want to be so invested in your ego that you are incapable of like finding the courage to be vulnerable. Like to me, the fact that I am maintaining my energy means I have to also stay open to vulnerability and not be as open to ego. There are times to be open to it, but there's so much more strength, you know, like and this isn't the motivation, certainly, but there's so much more strength or sass or whatever you're looking for in being detached and being vulnerable and in maintaining your vibration.
Yeah. As prioritizing that.
Prioritizing that, then matching someone just because really that is your vibration and you want the excuse to like pop off.
Yeah, it's just easier, right?
Right. It's like, I can pass the buck.
I needed to hear this. I don't know about any of y'all. And differently than that meme where we started, but I needed to hear this.
Well, you know, that's how it works.
That's how it works.
That's always how it works.
Yeah.
We're always talking to ourselves.
Always.
We're all connected.
Always.
So
there you have it.
Right. Keep
Friday
this
Love
in
Fest.
mind in your relationships, you know, because we teach love.
We teach love.
So,
all day, every day.
And make sure you guys comment, like, share, all the things.
Ask questions.
Yes. We'd love to hear from you.
We love y'all.
Love y'all.